Hello lads and ladies, and welcome back for another video on the channel. Today, back with some more Sky Bet League 2 content. Now, over the last couple of weeks, I have been in touch with 23 different supporters from 23 different clubs throughout Sky Bet League 2. I wanted to know what their thoughts were going into next season. Can they go and push on and get in the automatic places in the top three? Can they be challenging for the playoffs? Is their aim a mid-table finish or just simply stay in the division? I love this time of year where every set of supporter is playoff, promotion, and come the end of September it's, realistic, and the realism kicks in. The optimism is there with every single one that I spoke to. Please remember to give us a like, please subscribe, it does really help. We're trying to grow the League 2 content on this channel this season. Let's get over 100 likes on this. Simple, effective, give us 100 likes if you could go down there and press subscribe. It'd be very much appreciated. Massive thank you to those that did send those clips in for me as well. Informative, very good to listen to as well. Their links will be in the description down below as well. Absolute legends, every single one of you as well. And remember, that's just their opinion. If you disagree with them, get in the comments below and tell me where they're going to finish. I want to know your predictions.
Accrington's pre-season has been very good. We've signed Freddie Sass. Isaac Sinclair from Curzon Ashton was very good on the ball. We've also signed Ollie Wright. Young goalkeeper from Southampton looked very good in the game against Everton. I think we're doing alright this summer. A few pre-season games already played. Good test for us. I'm going to predict Aki will finish in the top 10 this year.
Woo! Good morning, Drigos! What's happening? Oh, I do like to pop up once again when the money is right. And now that we're back in the Football League, Ben has kindly asked me to do a video on his channel on where I think Barnet will finish being back in the Football League. We have signed, smashing that Tin Pot League over 102 points. See a double promotion on the cards. So it's all aboard HMS, piss the league, up the bees.
I think Barrow are going to be one of the hardest teams to predict this season, given the huge turnover we've seen this summer, with the likes of Keane Spence, Dean Campbell and Robbie Gotts all having departed, and there are question marks surrounding their replacements. I think that Andy Wing has proven his abilities in a very short space of time, and I think he'll be able to galvanise this group of players he's brought in excellently, allowing the likes of Scott Smith and Jack Erin to thrive should they stay fit. You'll find that Barrow play their best football when they're able to fly under the radar, and I think that's exactly what they'll be able to do with this group of players. As a result, I think Barrow will be able to push for the top half of the table, and I do think that we have a very realistic chance of finishing around the 11th position this season.
Snappers, hope you're well, mate. Cheers for inviting me on, really appreciate it. At the moment, there is a lot of positivity and optimism around the club, especially with the return of Darryl Clark. Lots of player changeovers. 17 players have left the club and 7 new players have been brought in. I really like the signings, especially of Jack Sparks, Southern Hills, Southwood and McEachran. I do like the squad as well at the moment. It is strong with the likes of Shaq Ford, Kofi Shaw, Hutchinson, Connor Taylor and Conte. But I still think we need between 4 and 6 players, especially that striker, that proven goal scorer, because last season our top goal scorer finished with 6 goals. Say Rovers will finish 4th, but if we do get that striker and some more signings, then I think we will finish in the top 3 and get promoted.
We had a really successful first season in League 2, and my prediction for the upcoming season is that we'll have another successful year. I think overall our finishing position will be 12th, so I believe we're going to finish top half. I think at certain points we'll be in and around the playoff positions and we'll have some really good results against some top teams, but I think overall we will fall short of the playoff positions. Hopefully we'll have another successful season in League 2. I don't think Michael Cheek will be top goal scorer for the year in the league. However, I do think he'll be our top goal scorer and continue to score goals in the EFL. So yeah, I'm going with 12th place for Bromley Football Club this year.
Right then, I've been asked to do my predictions for next season, what I think of the transfer window. I think it's been an okay transfer window. We brought in a few good players, Don Ball, Ben Knight, Ben Purrington. I think we do need a centre forward. We do lack a striker. So I think if we bring in a centre forward, our chances of getting higher next season does increase. Hopefully we finish playoffs. That's the aim. But I think we'll just finish outside of playoffs as of right now. As of recording, we haven't got a striker. So I think we'll finish just outside of playoffs. But if I'm being optimistic, why can't we do it? I think we can. Thanks for having me on the channel, mate. All the best. I'll see you next season. And yeah, thanks for having me on. Hi guys, Josh Talks EFL here. Delighted to be on the Cos Vlogs page. Unfortunately, it comes at a cost talking about these boys, Cheltenham. For our fan base, I feel like a lot of fans will be wanting to see us kick on from last season. However, I don't really fall into that bracket. I think we're in for a long campaign. I think we're in for a difficult campaign. There's a lot of change this summer. We're waiting for Mike Garlick to take over the football club, and my God, we need it. We need investment fast because we've only made 3 summer signings so far, and we are lacking squad depth. We are lacking quality, and question marks still remain over the likes of Thomas, Jude, Boyd, Archer, whether they'll stay at the football club. So anything above 23rd, honestly, for me, is a positive season. But if I'm going to be optimistic, I will say we finish mid-table, but that is a very, very slim chance.
I think the goal for Chesterfield coming into this off-season was just to add the final few pieces needed to go that little bit better than last season, which of course culminated in an unsuccessful appearance in the League Two playoffs. And if that was the objective, I think it's been very much achieved with the business that's been done so far. Of course, it all kicked off with the blockbuster return of former loanee Dilmar Kande on a permanent and 3-year deal, which is absolutely massive. Ryan Sturker's come in from Walsall, who beat them in the playoffs. Lee Bonus is a very interesting signing, striker, and Zach Hemming should bring some of that longer-term continuity in goal. And overall, I think these signings just represent a nice, fresh injection of energy and ideas. And barring the catastrophic injury that they had last year, they should be well placed to make a run for the top 3 this time around.
Is in a very good place. We've retained a bulk of the squad. There's a couple of contracts that I'm not sure of, but so far we have recruited well. I'm happy with Will Goodwin, happy with Ben Perry, Dominic Gape as well. A solid recruitment, free transfers, most of them as well. Really good. There is a few worries about if Tavide and Aura Edwards go, who do we bring in? But I trust the Cowleys enough to bring a solid replacement in. On current form, I'd say somewhere around 6th or 7th would be a realistic target, especially with the current squad. There's certainly gaps in defence that still need filling in ahead of Tranmere on the opening game of the season.
Hi there. So in terms of Crawley's recruitment so far, I think we've made quite a few additions up front, which definitely needed, and from what I've seen and heard in pre-season, do sound like a big improvement on what we had last season. And also we haven't really lost many of our key players, unlike this time last summer, which has helped. I mean, it's only Jamie Kelly that's left. That's kind of really big, I'd say. In terms of where we finish, I would say probably around about 10th, maybe. I think we should challenge for the playoffs, definitely. But whether we'll get there and whether the things going on behind the scenes with the ownership could affect that, but we'll see.
Hi Nappers, Tim Robinson here from the RailWay Podcast, giving you the Crewe take on 25-26. Crewe was shocking in the second half of last season, going from 2nd on the 1st of January to 13th in the final standings. The headline news is that Lee Bell has kept his job, and he needs to make a fast start to keep the Crewe fans on board. We lost a lot of players from last season, especially a lot of senior players, and the recruitment so far has been thin on the ground. Highlights are Josh March, a striker from Harrogate, and Rhys Hutchinson, a left-back from Sligo Rovers. We'll need a couple more in, and if they're promising players, we could repeat the heroics of the last couple of seasons where we've been challenging for promotion. If not, it's going to be a big struggle. I predict 15th.
So, we've got to Fleetwood. So, Fleetwood Town, let's be honest with you, last season it was a decent season. It wasn't anything exciting, but it wasn't anything where you'd have to worry. Last season came down from League One, needed to reset as a football club on the grass and off it as well. We brought in a few decent players that I thought did very well for the football club last year. The likes of Matty Virtue, Harrison Neal came in January, and Pete Wild came in the December period as well. I feel Fleetwood are better equipped this season to go a bit better and stronger and push on towards the playoffs. I want some excitement. I want some real, something to drive for, something to get me out of bed and onto the terraces every single Saturday, because last season it wasn't very entertaining. We had nothing to worry about as well. But I do feel this season is the season where Fleetwood can really push on. I feel if we get into the top half, it'd be a good season for us. I think a playoff push is likely. I just don't feel Fleetwood have got quite the strict squad depth at this moment in time to deal with week in, week out, Saturday, Tuesday football that League Two brings them. There are obviously players that we need to bring in. We do lack a bit of width and a bit of pace and a bit of creativity in the wingers area. We have lost key players like Phoenix Patterson and Brendan Wirridu, but both players have got League One moves deservedly. But overall, I feel we're a better League Two team, being the evident word.
Hi everybody, Matt here from Gills in the Blood TV. Ben's kindly asked me to come on and give my thoughts ahead of the new season about my club, Gills. So in terms of transfer window, I think it's been quietly encouraging. Sam Vokes comes in, he's probably the big name addition, albeit he's still recovering from a broken arm, so won't be featuring probably until the middle of August. We've also brought in Seb Taylor, tireless runner up front. In terms of off the pitch, been really encouraging, hasn't it? Since the Gallinsons took over in December of 2022, that side of the club's gone from strength to strength. We just need the bit on the grass to catch up now. And in terms of a prediction this season, I think if we can add 10 to 15 goals to the scored column, then we're going to be really competitive. If we don't, then we'll remain mid-table. But I'm going to be optimistic and say that we're going to sneak into the playoffs and finish 6th.
So in terms of my thoughts and everything that's going on around the club at the minute, there is a really good, vibrant buzz at the minute. Like I say, we've signed some great players. You know, we've just had our new kits released, and one of them now. You know, there is such a positive vibe around the club at the minute, and I think everyone's quite ambitious for this season. You know, last season, like I said, we narrowly missed out on playoffs, and you know, that for me was one of the best seasons I've seen Grimsby have in a long while. And I respect Dave Artell. You know, this guy's got a project at this club and he wants to go through with it. I think last season we overachieved, in my opinion. We deserved to be up there, but no one expected us to be up there. Take that into consideration this season, I think everyone's expecting playoffs this season. You know, I'd be more than happy with that. And if we narrowly missed out like we did last season, I think I'd be more than happy, because it's showing that we are a top half League Two side, and you know, when we've built on last season, you know, like I said, we've got some great players coming in, so I think, you know, hand on heart, I would honestly love for us to get playoffs this season. Would be absolutely incredible, but definitely playoffs, you know, but top half of the table, you know, I'd be more than happy with.
In League Two for Harrogate Town, and yet still we're one of the favourites to go down. I think defensively we're looking strong with Belshaw in nets, one of the best keepers in the league for me. And the likes of O'Connor at centre half, and Fox and Morris in the midfield makes us strong. It's the goal scoring that worries me. We've only scored 1 in pre-season, and last season there were only 2 of the clubs that scored less than us. That said, I think we've got enough to stay up, and I would predict we'll probably finish around about 16th.
So this is my prediction for Nappers for his League 2 video. I think MK Dons have had a really good summer. Obviously the big name signings are Nathaniel Mendes-Lang, Aaron Collins, Russian Hepburn Murphy. I think will be a real good addition. Although 19th place last season was nowhere near where anyone expected the club to be. I believe with everything we've got in place, the players, the manager, Paul Warne, Richie Barker as assistant, the pundits are probably going to have us quite high up in this lead up to the season, and top 3 minimum for me. Can't be any excuses for any sort of issues going forward. It wouldn't be MK Dons without any controversy. So yeah, thanks for letting me record this, Nappers, and good luck to everyone during the season.
On the 1912 Exiles podcast, and I've been asked to tell you a little bit about where Newport County find ourselves as we hit mid-July. Under new manager David Hughes, there is a little bit more optimism at Rodney Parade. We finished 22nd in the 4th Division last season, the worst side not to be relegated. And as we came into the window, there was a desperate need to sign a little bit more experience. However, the squad at the current moment still looks a little bit thin. We desperately need some heft in midfield, someone who can earn the right to play, and we need cover in a few other positions for the inevitable injury crisis that will come. Plenty of time to put all that stuff right, but the clock is ticking. Overall, it's hard to forecast anything at this point with any great confidence, but if you put a gun to my head today and made me predict a finish, I would say 19th.
Tom from Notts County Talk. Our window has been a very mixed one. Obviously, we've lost David McGoldrick, who's now signed for Barnsley. We couldn't agree a deal with him for his wages. We've lost Alex Bass to Peterborough, made a huge profit on him, so that's something we couldn't really say no to. George Abbott obviously left, returned on loan to Spurs. They're 3 of our best players from last season. We're replaced with some quality. We've got Dennis from Carlisle. We've brought in Tommy Orpenda from Huddersfield in that George Abbott role. We've brought in Norburn, who's not quite fit to play yet. Barry Cotter as well, who looks okay, but has got that red card and that friendly with Kaiserslautern. A very mixed window, not filled with a massive amount of hope. I'm going to say we'll finish between 8th and 10th.
Hello, mate. So I'm here as requested to give you a quick little lowdown on Oldham this season. Now, I think we've recruited really, really well with the likes of Stevens and Hawks and Ryan Woods. And I fancy if we can get a striker, we will finish top 10. I know that might sound optimistic, but I really, really fancy us to keep the ball rolling. I think we're just a striker away. We played Dundee today in a friendly and drew 0-0 to them, but they play Europe on Thursday, so that tells you everything you need to know.
One Up Front Salford City blog on Medium. Just to give you an idea of how our season is panning out and how it looks so far. So we brought in quite a lot of players from the National League, which is a big different recruitment direction for us. So we brought 3 in from there, 1 who was released from the Scottish Premier Division. So bit of a mixed bag there in games. We've not been able to have any B team friendlies because all the B team players and the academy youngsters are all playing about 30 minutes of each of the first team games. So if we don't sign, say, another small handful of players in the next few weeks, then it is a big concern for this season. So my prediction would be that we'll probably be somewhere in the bottom half of mid-table in this campaign.
So obviously we're coming off the back of a very disappointing season in League One, which ended in relegation. Michael Appleton's come in and looks to build something new now, with the likes of Sam Kluker, Sam Stubbs, Tom Anderson, Will Boyle, all very experienced players who have promotions in their past. I think that has to be our aim, and so far looking at our pre-season, we are doing well. We are putting in some good performances. Notably, we beat Stoke in a behind closed doors friendly. Game time this year, who've come through the academy, the likes of Jack Loughran, Isaac England. I'd say watch out for them. In terms of our aims, I think we've got to be looking at a top 7 finish, to be honest, with the strength of League 2. And I think about 6th place will be about right for us this season.
Hi, my name's Ben, and I'm here to talk about Swindon Town's pre-season. Well, the end of last season was pretty good. I think we were one of the form teams in the league for the last 4 or 5 months of the season. We've really taken that into pre-season. 4 contract extensions and only 1 going the other way. So it's been reasonably busy and quite a positive summer so far for Ian Holloway's men. But we've made, I'd say, a few of the most guy-catching ones. I'd say probably Billy Bowden, son of Swindon royalty Paul Bowden. Brings plenty of experience of Championship and League One football to the team. Contract extensions for the likes of Drynan and Glatzel. Harry Smith still in the team as well. I think going forward, Swindon have numerous options. I think they're a very attacking team, and I think there'll be goals aplenty this season. Midfield-wise, Oldacre as well, signed him from Chesterfield. A good competition for Gavin Kilkenny as well. I think weaknesses, we do have issues at the back still. I think there's issues that have not been addressed properly. We have signed Conor Ripley, which is a very good signing full term. I still think we're missing 1 or 2 experienced pro centre backs to really threaten the top 3 this year. I think we're in for a better season. I think we're a continuation of the second half of the season. I don't think we'll be top 3 for the fact that we probably will concede too many goals. Heavy, I think we're very attacking. I think that's Ian Holloway's way. But I do think we'll be in with their shout of the playoffs. I think that's quite realistic to expect. I think there'll be goals to plenty. I think my season ticket is probably going to be one of the best buys in the league without blowing my own trumpet, because I think I'm going to see goals aplenty. Anyway, that's me. My name's Ben, and thanks for having me on.
Hi, thank you for including me in the video. In terms of Tranmere Rovers, I think last season I put us in 5th place, and that was due to the idea that I presume we were bringing that much needed firepower in attack before the end of the transfer window. No, we didn't, and we finished in 20th place, and I do think that was one of the reasons, not the only reason, but one of the reasons why we struggled. I think next season we're in a much better place. I think I like Andy Crosby. I think we brought in better players than we did have last season. However, I just really think we need that added firepower up front, and I'm not sure if we're going to get it, so I'm going to put us in 18th place. If we do get it though, I think we could be dark horses for playoffs.
Hello everyone on Napper's channel, thanks for having me on the channel. So my thoughts ahead of Walsall going into the new season, massive season for Walsall where we've got to be back up there and try and get promoted this time. Obviously, how the season ended last season was disastrous, to put it that way. I mean, so far ahead, hopefully we can recover from that, put that to one side and hopefully go and get that promotion. Obviously, in terms of the transfer business so far, we've lost a couple of key players, the likes of Taylor Allen and Ryan Sturk in midfield. But I think we've had a decent transfer window so far, liking the signing of Harrison Burke at the back. I think that'd be a good sign. Aidan Flint, experienced as well. Obviously, wait and see the likes of Johnny Stuttle and Aaron Prezier do in the forward line, because that's what kind of cost us in the second half of the season. When Lowe went back, kind of the replacements up front weren't great. Obviously, still question marks about manager Matt Sadler. In my opinion, should have been set after the playoff final, but I'm here to be proven wrong, and hopefully we can have a successful campaign. Thanks for having me on the channel.
So a massive thank you to those that came on to the video as well. It is massively appreciated. Thanks for you for watching at home as well. It's great to be back ready for another season where, again, the excitement is real. Just over a week to go now until that first ball is kicked. Please give us a like, please subscribe. It will help the channel out a lot. Get down there, get us to 20,000 subscribers. It means the world to me doing this as well. And until next time, I will see you later. Thanks very much for watching.